I 100% feel like the hair is part of me. And it doesn't feel like I have something on my head. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a hat, or it doesn't feel like, my wife was concerned that it was gonna feel like those like Halloween wigs that you wear that are like super uncomfortable. It's not like that at all. Like this is a part of me 100%. So I've worked in media for 18 plus years. I was a DJ a long time in clubs and that kind of thing, and I worked in radio, which doesn't, radio is an audio medium, so the way you look doesn't matter, but for me personally, hair was always my thing. Eventually I started losing my hair, and it obviously didn't really matter in my career. However, for me personally, it hurts. Like it's like a blow to your ego. And when I lost my hair, I found that like a lot of that confidence was gone. I was wearing a hat a lot, which I didn't like doing. I was never the hat guy, and then I suddenly became the hat guy, right? Going swimming, forget about it. Like it was tough, and it was difficult, and that led me towards hair systems. It led me to researching hair transplants, but I decided that wasn't really the route I wanted to go. So I started researching hair systems, and like anything else in life, when you're unsure, you just dive in and then see what happens, right? So that's kind of what led me to hair systems. But when it comes to hair systems, I think having a bit of that freedom where nothing is permanent and you can make changes along the way and change the way you look, that's something I never had. Yeah. So when I first put it on and installed it for myself, it was difficult. Like it took me a while to put the tape around everything, and I wasn't sure like how close I have to have it to the edge. That's the thing when you do something new for the first time, you don't know how perfect it's gonna be because you don't wanna mess it up or whatever the case is. And I'll never forget, the first time I installed it by myself with the help of my wife, I put it on backwards. It was hilarious. Like I threw it on and it was looking a little funny. I'm like, did I put it on backwards? She's like, yeah, I think you put it on backwards. And I was like, oh no, I just spent an hour taping the whole thing and I put it on backwards. I'm gonna have to do it all over again. And that's what it was like at first. Everyone just thought I dyed my hair. And one of the hardest things when you first get a hair system is like figuring out the right density and the right color, right? Because you can take as many pictures as you want, you can look at hair wheels, you can do all that kind of stuff. And you never really know until that thing is on top of your head, right? Because like you have to consider your skin tone, the color of your facial hair, the color of the hair on the side. Like there's all these little things. And the coolest thing is like when people first saw me, people that didn't know I got it done, like obviously my whole family knew, so they were like expecting me to look a little different. For the people that didn't know, all they thought was like, did you dye your hair? That's the only question I got. They had no idea I was wearing a hair system because at the end of the day, they're not paying that much close attention to me. I mentioned that I was coming here to Superhairpieces. He's like, you're wearing a hairpiece? And like that's the best compliment you can get. Someone that you saw almost every day for 3 months have no idea that I was wearing a hairpiece, right? I think my advice for a first hair system user would, first of all, just take the plunge. Do your research and then just take the plunge. You're not gonna regret it. And then the other piece of advice I would say is that remember that nothing is permanent. So you know what, it could be a little less dense for you, right? Or that it could be a little lighter, just very dark, you know, like it could be a little bit lighter. So what I took that, I mixed it in with what I saw in the mirror, and I was able to come up with my own solutions. And the best part about the Superhairpieces website, again, is that you have all those options, and you can look at that and decide that you want to go a little bit lighter, or a little bit less dense, or a little bit different texture, whatever the case is. And it's you can play with it and then come up with the best solutions. Listen to the suggestions of the people you care about. You know, like they want what's best for you, and they'll let you know, like, you know what, you can go a little lighter, which is what I did with my original, right? That's why I went a little lighter with this one. You know what, I think a little lighter would be better. I think it's a little bit too long. Like, and I was happy to hear that advice. And I think if you're a first-time user or someone that's just kind of like new to get into the game, ask those questions. Just a very, very cool experience from top to bottom.